So today I'm going to look at making the panelling and some of the moulding for most of the trim in the kitchen. We're going to panel out the dining room as well in more of a shaker style framed panelling, and I'll be doing that in the next day or two. But today I want to make the tongue and groove panelling, which I'm going to make from MDF sheets. So the only difference between this original panelling and the panelling we're going to make from the MDF is that I'm going to make each board, or the effect of each board, a bit wider than what's already here. We prefer the look of about 150mm, so we're going to go with that, and a similar depth to what I've recreated in this test piece of MDF. So I'm going to make it from 12mm MDF. That will go against the current wall, and then we've got this nice tall skirting at the bottom which will butt up against that. So it's going to be a nice chunky finish, and hopefully a lot more robust and cleaner finish than what's already there. Have it right on the actual edge. On it. Now, one of the great things about making your own panelling is that you can dictate how wide you want each panel. The off-the-shelf options tend to only be about 3 or 4 inches, which is no good when you're trying to match up with an existing property, or especially if it's an old period property like this, where it was quite often, you know, nice 150, 200 wide planks of wood, and that's what we're trying to recreate. As you can probably make out behind me, I've already made a start on this side of the room. These are made up of 2 sections of MDF. I cut all the grooves in first, and then cut out any holes that we needed for where the fridge is going, for where these 2 150 pull-out larder units are going to go. Nicely they fitted in between the grooves, so we're going to have quite a nice kind of hidden effect there. Okay, I'll just show you around some of the rest of it. Again, this was a full 8x4 sheet that first of all we cut our grooves in, and then we cut to size to go around this aperture, and this is where the fridge will sit inside. And again, a couple of cutouts which will be finished here and below, where a unit will actually sit in there with a slide out larder unit. And again, that's quite nice because the edges of that ended up bang on the grooves. So this is where the next section is going to go, and it's all cut ready, so we're going to stick that in now. I'm gluing and screwing. I'm going to glue on these battens that are already there, and then we'll screw, fill, and hide that when we're painted. Okay, glue's in place, so I'm going to get this panel up. And when I did these panels, I was able to clamp it in place and get it exactly where I wanted it, and then screw it. I'm not going to be able to do that here. But it should be fine. The glue should hold it on there, and then I should be able to go around and glue it or nail gun it in after. Okay, it's looking good so far. I want to make sure it's off the work surface, just in case there's any, although it's moisture resistant, just in case we have any spills or anything. Don't want it to soak up at the bottom. And also I'm going to have a trim piece of upstand at the back of this worktop anyway. So I'm going to use some little packers just to get that off whilst we screw it. So I've got less to screw into on this one, so I'm just going to put a few tacks in there, and that should hold it until the glue's gone off. So it's tucked down the side of the cupboard quite nicely there, and just looking up, we'll put a trim piece on that back wall. It's only a millimetre or two, and again it's pretty good up on the ceiling. You can see the first piece that went onto the old cupboard this side, and this 9mm moisture resistant, and what we'll do is either put a corner finishing piece inside that, or possibly a corner moulding which will kind of sit over the two of them. Okay, next job is to cut out these two sections here for the cupboards. I've already put the circular saw down both sides. I'll use the jigsaw now to take out top and bottom. Right, so I'll give you a look at what we've done so far over in the corner with the cupboards and the space for the fridge. Okay, so we've taken out both holes now where the little thin larder units are going to sit, and I've also put the strip and framing in on the left hand side of the opening for the fridge. So that's pretty much ready to go now for the fridge, so we need to clear out that cupboard. We're going to leave access until the electricians are finished, because that's where the fuse board is. And it'll be time to start priming all this now, get all that undercoated, and then we can look at getting the skirting on the bottom as well.